Iraq economic news and points to ponder late Tuesday evening, April 22, 25. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. UN official. Iraq is witnessing remarkable progress in various fields and the importance of continuing its partnership with the United Nations. Time: April 22, 2025, 10 hours 55 minutes and 59 seconds. Read 2445 times. Political. Al-Farad News. The Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for Bilateral Relations, Mohammed Hussein Mohammed Bar al-Ulam, received today, Monday, at the headquarters of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Baghdad, the Under-Secretary General of the United Nations for Operational Support, Atul Khari, and his accompanying delegation. Within the framework of joint coordination to implement UN Security Council Resolution No. 2732, regarding the termination of the mandate of the United Nations Assistance Mission to Iraq, UNAMI. During the meeting, the Under-Secretary of Foreign Affairs expressed, according to a statement from the ministry, a copy of which was received by Euphrates News, the Iraqi government's appreciation for the important role played by the UNAMI mission since its establishment until today, stressing that the relationship between Iraq and the United Nations will enter a new phase of cooperation and partnership, based on the priorities of the next phase and the positive developments witnessed in Iraq. The two sides discussed, according to the statement, the mechanisms for implementing UN Security Council Resolution No. 2732, to ensure a smooth transition of the mission's tasks. The Under-Secretary affirmed Iraq's keenness to provide all facilities to ensure the implementation of this process in an organized manner, stressing Iraq's firm commitment to continuing constructive cooperation with the United Nations and its specialized agencies, based on its belief in the vital role played by the international organization in supporting stability and enhancing economic development efforts at the regional and international levels. For his part, Khari praised the remarkable progress Iraq is witnessing in various fields and commended the Iraqi government's approach to consolidating internal stability and strengthening regional cooperation frameworks. He also emphasized the importance of continuing the partnership between Iraq and the United Nations as a fundamental pillar for supporting security and achieving sustainable development. At the conclusion of the meeting, Khari expressed his appreciation for the Iraqi government's fruitful cooperation in the context of the gradual winding down of UNAMI's work, emphasizing that this cooperation represents a model of constructive coordination between member states and the United Nations. Mr. Al-Hakim calls for encouraging citizens to deposit their money in Iraqi banks. Time: the 22nd of April 2025, 13 hours 9 minutes and 59 seconds. Read 1740 times. Political. Al-Farad News. The head of the National State Forces Alliance, Mr. Amar al-Hakim, called for encouraging citizens to deposit their money in Iraqi banks. A statement from his office, a copy of which was received by Euphrates News, stated that Mr. al-Hakim received, this morning, a number of Iraqi businessmen, headed by the head of the Iraqi Banks Association, Wadia al-Handhal, and listened to their vision on reforming the banking sector in Iraq to keep pace with the state of urban and developmental progress in the country, and in all governorates. During the meeting, Mr. al-Hakim stressed the importance of keeping pace with global developments in this vital sector and linking the Iraqi banking system to the global banking system. He called for working to expand financial inclusion in banks, encouraging citizens to deposit their money in Iraqi banks, and turning this into a societal culture. He pointed out the importance of granting loans to youth in the housing sector, as the latter stimulates many other productive sectors and provides job opportunities. Kurdistan's finance ministry announces the transfer of more than 48 billion dinars of non-oil revenues to Baghdad. Money and Business Economy News, Baghdad. The Kurdistan Regional Government's Ministry of Finance and Economy announced on Tuesday that the Federal Treasury's share of non-oil revenues for March of this year has been transferred to the Federal Ministry of Finance's account. The ministry stated in a statement received by Al-Iqtisad News that the transferred amount amounted to 48,205,765,000 Iraqi dinars, and it was deposited in cash into the Federal Ministry of Finance's bank account at the Erbil branch of the Central Bank of Iraq. The Kurdistan Regional Government's Ministry of Finance and Economy previously transferred approximately 52 billion dinars in non-oil revenues to the Federal Treasury in Baghdad in February. An expert identifies the missing link to diversifying sources of income and achieving economic reform. Time: the 21st of April 2025, 22 hours 36 minutes and 51 seconds. Read 3120 times. Economic. Al-Farad News. Economic expert Qusay Safwan identified the missing link in the path to diversifying sources of income and achieving economic reform in Iraq. He noted that controlling corruption begins with the banking sector and is linked to understanding revenue risks and the behavior of the Iraqi dinar at border crossings. During his appearance on the Free Talk program on Al-Farad TV channel this evening, Safwan explained that economic diversification cannot be achieved without regulating these outlets, which are a tool for protecting local production and developing investment. He indicated that reforming the financial sector requires rehabilitating banks through mergers, partnerships, and specialization. He stressed that these goals are still far off, and the real beginning lies in developing the human resources working in the banking sector, especially since most Iraqi banks focus their grants on the housing sector. Safwan explained that the central bank's policy is geared towards supporting financial inclusion, as 40% of individuals use electronic banks, a matter linked to suspicions of money laundering. He called for providing incentives to credit card holders and motivating them through tax exemptions and import facilitation, which would enhance the conversion of the dinar into hard currency through the central bank. He pointed out that the central bank alone cannot reform the Iraqi economy in light of the lack of control over border crossings and the citizens' lack of trust in banks, emphasizing that investing in technology is costly, but necessary and yields tangible benefits for shops and businesses. Safwan revealed that Iraq has $100 billion in the U.S. Federal Reserve, emphasizing the need to eliminate intermediaries and build a direct relationship between producers and consumers, warning that corruption is greater than the support available at the outlets. He added, private banks were established as joint stock companies, and their shares are now denominated below the dinar mark and are available to all. He called on the central bank to address the dispute between it and the company's registrar regarding dividend distribution, which is prompting small shareholders to sell their shares to major investors. Safwan concluded by saying, government banks need a comprehensive restructuring to drive development and create investment portfolios for agricultural, industrial, and commercial cities. He also highlighted the need to integrate the local market with global markets, similar to the Gulf banks, and attract $350 billion domestically. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: dinarrecaps.com.